Have you ever wondered how economists measure the size of an entire economy? Or what people really mean when they say, the GDP is growing? In this video, we'll break it all down, from what GDP actually means, how it's calculated, what GDP per capita and PPP are, to how countries grow it, all explained simply. Let's start with the basics. GDP stands for Gross Domestic Product. It's the total value in money terms of all final goods and services produced within a country's borders in a given time period. Think of it as a giant economic scoreboard. If the GDP is high and growing, the economy is generally doing well. If it's shrinking, it could mean trouble, like rising unemployment or a recession. There are three main ways to calculate GDP, and each gives a different angle on the same picture. First, the expenditure approach. It adds up everything spent in the economy. That includes consumer spending, business investments, government spending, and net exports, which is exports minus imports. The formula is C plus I plus G plus X minus M. That's consumer spending plus investment plus government spending plus net exports. Second, the income approach. This adds up all the income earned in the country, like wages, profits, and rent. Third, the production approach. Also called the output method, this sums the value of all goods and services produced, minus the cost of inputs. All three approaches aim to arrive at the same GDP number, just from different sides of the economy. But GDP by itself doesn't tell us how rich the people in a country are. That's why economists also look at GDP per capita, or GDP divided by population. It's an average showing how much economic output each person contributes. It's useful for comparing living standards across countries, because a big country with a high GDP might still have low income per person. Here's where things get even more interesting. Purchasing Power Parity, or PPP, adjusts GDP to reflect the cost of living in each country. Why? Because $100 goes a lot further in Pakistan than in the US. So, GDP at PPP gives a more realistic view of what people can actually buy in their own countries. It's one of the best tools to compare real standards of living globally. Now, GDP is a great tool, but it's not perfect. Let's look at the pros. The simple to track. It helps compare economies. And it often reflects growth, jobs, and investment. But the cons? It doesn't show income inequality. One billionaire can skew the whole average. It ignores environmental costs like pollution. And it doesn't measure happiness, well-being, or unpaid work like raising kids or caring for family. So, while GDP is powerful, it's not the full story. Okay, so how can a country increase its GDP? Here are a few key ways. Investing in infrastructure like roads, electricity, and internet. Improving education and skills. Encouraging innovation and technology. Boosting exports and reducing barriers to trade. And keeping a stable political and financial environment. When people and businesses are more productive, GDP goes up. As of June 2025, the United States, China, and India lead the world in GDP. But growth rates are slowing in parts of the world due to inflation, interest rate hikes, and global uncertainty. Emerging economies in Asia and Africa are expected to see faster growth over the next few years. So now you know GDP isn't just a number. It's a snapshot of how much a country produces, how people live, and how well the economy is functioning. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like, hit subscribe, and share your country's GDP or GDP per capita in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.